is in your other hand, it's up to you. Do you all have a glass?
Yes.
Good. Well, I'm very pleased to see you here today. It means a lot to me to be exactly here, because the very first time I came to Cannes for the Sunday Times, I was invited. I had 16 nights accommodation with bed and breakfast. I think the 16, it was the maximum length that the festival was permitted to happen. As you probably know, the festivals are ruled by a mafia which is on the Champs-Élysées called Fiat. They designated the number of days a festival could run, and I think it then was, the maximum was either 16 or 17. So it was a big honor for me in a way to have an invitation with the hotel for 16 nights representing the Sunday Times. And my hotel was on this street, further down on the right. And subsequently, as I discovered as my career, such as it is, continued, that was the worst hotel I ever stayed at in any festival. But it was an honor to have 16 nights. And it was a horrible little hotel, 2 stars, not even. People from French television was there. You can see the hotel if you walk down. It's on the left-hand side, and it's now 4-star and costs 290 euros a night, I'm sure. So I'm very pleased that we are here, chez Yvan, who has taken over this restaurant, which some of you may remember as an Italian pizzeria about 4 years ago. And Yvan has made some of these, has made all of these delicacies, which are waiting for you on the bar, and there will be others to come, specifically highlighting French cuisine. So do not ask for a pizza or anything. This is all going to be French. What is also very nice is to be able to be here after 4 years of pandemic and not being in an event in person and being online, and it's not at all the same thing. It is important to be face to face and with a glass in the hand. I created the Oxford Film Festival as an undergraduate. And during the Oxford Film Festival, on one occasion, the event became, the same year in fact that I came to Cannes, the second edition was the first competition of a feature film ever in Great Britain with the jury, and Rita Hayworth was invited to be president of the jury, and she did not come. So the festival became a little bit famous because Rita Hayworth did not come. The reason she did not come was because I discovered later in Los Angeles, we had sent her $4,000 for the ticket, 2 tickets first class in Los Angeles. And she had specified which hotel she wanted to be, not in the hotel where we had 3 rooms, which if you know Oxford, it's the Randolph, right in the center of the city, opposite the college where I studied, Bailey. She didn't want to be there, she wanted to be in another hotel, which was a 5-star hotel, but a little bit cheaper. So I thought she's really coming. She sent a handwritten letter. A week before she was due to come, it was a 2-week festival. The first week was classics, retrospectives, films about the Nazis from the archive. And then the second week was a competition for new feature films based on books, poems, etc., etc., adaptation. And that's why the Fiat, which then was controlled by Monsieur Alphonse Brisson, whom some of you may have seen here in Cannes. He lived in Cannes subsequently when he retired. He had a glass eye, and it always seemed to change whether it was light one or the left, but one of the eyes was glass. He told me after some years that he'd always wanted to have a festival somewhere in the world which was based on books, so that was why he approved Oxford. We were an approved festival, and we were approved the same year as Chicago. So we had this major problem because I started on the Sunday Times and I'd mentioned Rita Hayworth should be coming to the Oxford Film Festival. And there was a red carpet outside the Randolph Hotel, although we knew she had no intention of going there. And then when the word got out around London, they said, why would Rita Hayworth go to the Oxford Film Festival? It's like the Muppet Show or something. So of course, we had a great credibility gap to build up. So with the help of some friends, by the closing night, I managed to secure the presence of Joseph Cotton from The Third Man, and who was a great friend, obviously, of Orson Welles, who had been married to Rita Hayworth. And he came with his wife, who had been an actress herself, was from my home city, Bradford, Patricia Medina. Also came Gloria Graham, the Hollywood star from Oklahoma, many other films, and the transvestite star of Andy Warhol, Holly Woodlaw, and some other people. And we had, as a closing film, Peter Weir's The Last Wave, which had its second international premiere after I had seen it in Cannes. It was the closing film in the Oxford Film Festival. And about 11:30 there was a party in Trinity College, a closing party. We never had any money, but we had alcohol, we had sponsors, champagne. And I thought, what can go wrong now? What's going to happen? Half past 11. And Gloria Graham came up to me like a teenager, a nervous teenager. And she said, please, Philip, will you introduce me to Joseph Cotton? And of course, but I thought, I was very young, I thought everybody knew everybody in Hollywood. But they didn't, and they don't, still. So I introduced the two of them, and 8 weeks later, we were both acting together in the most important drama television series in England called Tales of the Unexpected, which every week, written by Roald Dahl, had some film stars. The years go around, and mid-pandemic, the widescreen weekend in my native city, Bradford, where I'd been a consultant at the Film Museum, it has 70mm, it has Cinerama, happened. And I took some colleagues up the Saturday afternoon, or the Saturday trip from London on the train. I stayed a few nights in the hotel. And the afternoon movie was Playtime of Jacques Tati, his underrated masterpiece, 70mm, amazing, which of course at the time was a total disaster. And I went back to the hotel. It wasn't particularly cold, it was October. I thought, I'll put a coat on. I turned on the television in the hotel room, and there was Sky Arts, which is a kind of upmarket Canal Plus maybe. And on Sky Arts was an episode of Tales of the Unexpected, starring Gloria Graham and Joseph Cotton, which I had never seen. So I was networking before it was called networking. And this is the importance and the privilege and the pleasure that we have in this business to be able to meet and mix and work with talented people from all around the world. And Cannes, and some of the other festivals also, are a microcosm. And during 10 or 12 days you can meet so many talented, well-known, not yet well-known people. And the important thing is to meet them, not to take an Instagram picture or to read about them on Facebook, but to actually engage with them, and that out of your meeting comes a little creative work later. So this drink is to remember a little help of our friends, and to remember some of the friends who are not here today, whom we remember who used to come, like Dimitri Aipides, who was director of the Thessaloniki Festival and worked in Toronto, and who passed away a couple of years ago. Very much more recently, one of the top sales agents, a Polish gentleman, Julek Kedzierski, also left the stage. And he was the person who held the rights, the world rights, for Gilles de Corvo's film, The Battle of Algiers. And in the situation we're in now globally, politically, terroristically, the Battle of Algiers is frighteningly topical. So we think of friends who were not here, and we think of the new friends that we're making here. The directors from Melbourne who have a film tonight, the filmmaking team from filmfestivals.com, and that we will go on to make more memories from what we are doing now. So I will say, here's to absent friends, and here's to the new friends that we don't yet know. And thank you for participating, and thank you for being open to meeting new people and to helping them in their work. Cheers. Thank you.